I was watching season 2 of a great show called Broadchurch, and in the middle of episode 4, my wife and I turned to each other and went, I think we watched this whole season before.
But you're anti-binge watching. You know what I feel?
No, I'm for binging. I do it. I don't know if I should wait till the whole series is over and then just binge a series.
Well, you know what I found, Judd, with The Night Of with John Turturro on HBO?
Yeah, great one.
You had to wait a week to get the next episode, and it's so foreign to us now because we're used to watching House of Cards and watching it in 3 days. I looked forward to that show because I had to wait a week like we used to do when we were growing up.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I do both. I work on Girls for HBO, and it comes out every week, and it's really fun that everyone fights about it, and there's like a conversation in the culture about what Lena has done in the episode. And then I also do this show, Love, on Netflix, and I think most people watch that show in one sitting. They watch it like a 5-hour movie, which is what I've always wanted to make, a 5-hour movie.
Now, do you watch Deadliest Catch or House Hunters International or Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, those kind of things?
I'm not really a big, looking at people's storage spaces type of reality guy. I'll do a Hoarders because I am a hoarder, and then I watch it, and when someone says, like, do you want to throw away that punching bag that's all torn up, I'm like, don't throw it away! You can fix it!
What do you hoard?
Oh, do I hoard? I always say to my wife, I'm a hoarder, but I only hoard good stuff.
Of course. Of course. You get rid of all the bad stuff.
Well, it's like we were making this movie, Funny People, and I remembered that I used to videotape Adam Sandler making phony phone calls when we were kids. And then I went in my little hoardy storage space, and there it was. So it was valuable. All the hoarding was worthwhile, just because every once in a while I find something that I need.
Well, there's a G-rated Sandman, and then there's an X-rated Sandman, right?
I enjoy them both, but I love those albums, the really filthy Adam Sandler records, Medium Pace and stuff like that. And he's been touring the country a lot lately, and he has a whole new set of songs that are so great. We perform at this place called Largo in Los Angeles all the time, and people should go see him live because it's a real treat.
I mentioned the Larry Sanders Show, and I remember watching it when it first came on, and I loved it. Now we look back, I don't know how many years it's been, but Jeremy Piven's on there, what Hank Kingsley has done. I mean, there's been a lot of. I'm glad it came back because you get a chance to really revisit what Larry was doing, Gary Shandling was doing. But when you first started on that show, what were the expectations of it?
Well, I was doing the Ben Stiller show for Fox. At the same time, Gary was putting together the Larry Sanders Show. And Gary would show me all of the audition tapes. I remember so clearly him showing me Jeffrey Tambor's audition and saying, what do you think of this guy? Because he was thinking about someone else, but then he saw Jeffrey. And I loved Jeffrey from when he was he was on Hill Street Blues as a crazy judge. And then he was also in the Al Pacino movie, And Justice for All.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like my favorite character actor of all time. And I remember that when the show aired, this always made me laugh. Gary worked so hard on it, and then it was the premiere of the Larry Sanders Show. There's no party. There's nothing. Gary said, hey, you want to come over and watch the show? I go over to his house. I assume there's going to be a group of people there. No one is there. It's just Gary alone watching the episode of the broadcast.
That fits who Gary was, who Larry Sanders was.
Absolutely. Just watching the show with me. And it was great. Gary had a very specific vision. And he thought everything that was happening with the talk shows was so crazy. And we should do a show about the behind the scenes of it. And then it got crazier as he was doing this show. And then suddenly he was offered all the talk shows.